I wonder how this lighting setup is gonna turn out. Random purple light on the side. That's my mechanical keyboard. But let's go. Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to another episode of Pwned. In this episode, it is basically story time about my Dart Zone Pro Mark 1.1. I think that by now it is rather safe to say that I'm quite late to the game in terms of getting myself a Dart Zone Pro. I didn't get the 1.0 because, it was a crowdfunding thing and I really didn't want to deal with the wait. And when people started receiving their Pro 1.0s, the reviews were nothing short of stellar and I started feeling really FOMO about it. Now, I actually had the Cedar, but mind you, it was the first version of the Cedar that, everyone was upset regarding the long wait times for. And that was honestly a bit lackluster. I mean, yeah, it was pretty good value for money, but the plastic and stuff was pretty lackluster. And then finally, Dart Zone Pro announced the Mark 1.1, and this one in that red color, that red exclusive Target color. Now, this is something that I can totally get behind. So I decided that when they actually had it released, I was going to get myself one. Unfortunately, this is the start of the story. I'll tell you guys more of the reasons why I really wanted to own a Mark 1.1, or basically a Dart Zone Pro blaster, but let me just get this story out of the way first, okay? So when they announced it, they actually had things like sign up link or an interest link, and they were having a partnership with Target. Now, Target, for one that I recall, they don't actually do any kind of overseas shipping, so it's going to be a US release only, which is a little bit unfortunate, right? So how did I actually get it here to Singapore? Well, that, my friends, is a really painful story. So anyway, I signed up and put my name down on that newsletter, or that notify me of whenever this is going to be in stock, right? For those of you who actually did the same thing, I know you guys had the same problem. In the month of March, you started to receive a lot of notifications saying that this was actually available on sale on Target, only for you to rush to the site to find out that it is out of stock. So it was some kind of a stocking issue, but each time that happened, I basically re-signed myself up to be notified again, and I think all in all, it happened about a total of 12 times, I think. Can't remember exactly, but then it finally was actually in stock, and so I was like, yes, I can purchase it. So I purchased it, and I generally use a freight forwarding company to ship stuff from the US over here to Singapore. So I was thinking, it's a blaster, right? Shouldn't be a problem. So I actually went through with the transaction and I paid for it, the whole US $149.99, only to be notified a day later that Target had rejected my order, and they did not state why. So I tried again, because I was able to go through the entire transaction again. I tried again and it failed again. So then, because I really wanted it, I reached out to a friend, and that friend is none other than Alysia. So thank you, Alysia. Without you, I wouldn't have this bad boy in my hand. So really, thank you, Alysia. You really helped. And by me telling you guys that Alysia helped, I mean it. And she really, I'm so sorry, Alysia, but thank you for putting up with my nonsense just so that you could get this blaster over to me. Let me say that Alysia went on to Target, and by the way, the first date of that transaction was the 20th of March, so I'm gonna take that as the start date, okay, even though I actually heard of this much earlier. But then I think that all the false alarms started on the 10th of March, but I can confirm that my first transaction on Target was on the 20th of March. And initially, I thought it was a credit card issue. She tried to purchase it as well, and the shipping address was to my freight forwarding address, but she too got rejected. So she tried again, and she opted to ship it over to her address directly, and the transaction went through. So I was like, wait, why isn't Target accepting any orders where the address or the shipping to address is going to be a freight forwarding company? That really sucks. So anyway, so Alysia did that. She ordered it, and then she asked me if I wanted to ship it directly from her to Singapore, which is going to cost quite a bit more because, USPS is rather expensive, and she doesn't really have any kind of special deals or special agreements with other private couriers like DHL or FedEx. Or the second option was to actually ship it to the freight forwarding company. So I said, you know what, let's try that. Ship it from your local PO to the freight forwarding company, and that was about, I think it was about $25 domestic because of the size of the box and everything. So I was like, you know what, okay, let's just do it. So she did that, paid for it, and when the freight forwarding company received it, they said that they were not allowed to ship out any sort of Nerf blasters, any kind of foam dart blasters. It is prohibited. And I'm like, damn it, you guys, so what's gonna happen next? And they said that, well, the next thing that they could do is to just return it to the sender, and I'm like, Alysia, I'm sorry, I have to trouble you again. So she received it again, and I was like, you know what, maybe you could try just going to UPS, because I heard that UPS would accept an international shipment for a foam dart blaster. But unfortunately, let's just say that UPS quoted her a total of like what, $200 to ship this thing, and I'm like, that sucks. So by now, right, I've already paid like $30 extra in shipping, because, you know, she had to go to the PO to ship it to the freight forwarding company, but she also had to pay extra for like the box and everything. So then they shipped it back and I had to pay for that as well. And then she made multiple trips to different companies to try and see if they would ship this out. And by now you're probably asking like, hey, Psych, why did you not then choose to go for USPS? And the reason, my friend, is because we actually have this pandemic going on, which is causing like delays. So anyway, she kept it in her place for about a month or so, right? And finally I said, you know what, screw it, Alysia, just try your luck. I'll pay for it. Just go to USPS and ship it directly to me. So I paid for that as well. I think it was like what, $80, and it took about like 2 weeks, and it was finally here. So yeah, I have it in my hands. But thank you, Alysia, thank you so much for going through all of that trouble, going through all of that hassle, just so you could put this in my hands. So yes guys, all of this would not have been a problem simply if either A, Target ships internationally, B, Dart Zone Pro decides to say, okay, we can offer international shipping. So I mean, come on guys. Okay, so why do I want a Dart Zone Pro so badly? Yes, I am aware that I have not been very active in this hobby for the past few years, but I have to say that I saw the evolution of mods. So I started modding in 2009, you know, modding from recons to retaliators to retalicons to expanded plunger tube recons and stuff like that, and then eventually also helping to give the name to what is known as the prophecy by worker, and then finally seeing a product like the Cedar, right, where it is already innately a powered up retaliator, right? So seeing that product being released to the market for a relatively affordable price. I think it was like what, $60 when it first came out. I can't remember exactly. Like, it was an off-the-shelf available blaster that gave you like what, 130 FPS right out of the box. And that was like, you know, the culmination of years and years and years of the community's hard work in terms of thinking of mods and trying to push the performance of blasters, right? And then finally the Dart Zone Pro, and people were raving about this comfortable grip here and all the other engineering marvels and advancements that this had to offer, right? The different innovations and stuff like that. So one thing that you guys have to know about me, or at least you guys should already know about me, is that I really enjoy blasters that are capable of handling any kind of dart length, right? I don't particularly enjoy blasters that only accept half length darts. Now, I know that performance is better, I know that it's a hobbyist grade, but coming from back then, seeing the evolution to now, you know, with things like brass breeches, I personally prefer a blaster system or a breech system that allows for full length and half length dart capability. So that is why I really wanted to get one in my hands just to see what it's all about. But there are some things I want to address, and that is the dart compatibility. And shout out to Naptown Nerf, because you, Zach, gave a really good insight into the inner workings of the blaster and the dart and barrel fit. And I gotta say that because of the atmosphere here in Singapore, maybe the climate or whatever, the dart fit is actually pretty good. I don't have to change out the stock barrel. Stock barrel fits almost all kinds of darts here pretty well. And just so I could show you, I have the plastic barrel here. So the metal barrel is in this blaster right now. The fit is actually a little bit loose here, but it's not as loose or as bad as what you guys might experience over in the United States, for example. Now, I also took a picture of the dart fit of a bamboo dart in some 17th 32nds brass, and yeah, I had to take a picture because, you know, I really wanted to get close-up details of that, because I was showing Piggy the dart fit in there, and I think that the dart fit is splendid. So the dart fit here in the stock barrel, or the metal barrel I should say, of the Dart Zone Pro Mark 1.1 is actually pretty good. So just for a demonstration, this is not really a firing demo, although it kind of is. It's more like a dart fit to performance kind of demonstration. And I won't be having any special lights because I just wanted to show you guys that it fires fine. I actually have the full length mag here and the bamboo darts here. And in here is the stock metal barrel, and I'm gonna be just firing off 2 darts because I got 2 bamboo darts in there. So really quickly, let me just Alright, so the darts come out completely fine. And to contrast with that, I actually have another mag here, and this mag is actually filled with 4 darts. The 2 bottom darts are bamboo darts, and the 2 top darts are AccuFake or accurate darts. They're like accurate darts, see? And they are a pair of nipple tip darts. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that this thing works completely fine. Yep, see, it fires darts of any size completely fine with this particular barrel. Now on to the next demonstration. It is the short dart demonstration. I have the stock short dart mag here, and I've got 2 bamboo darts or the half length bamboo darts in here. Oh, I'm sorry, I had the safety on. That's completely fine as well. And last but not least is a worker talent mag with an assortment of short darts. Now the first one is the bamboo dart, but following that are a series of other type of darts. So I've got a few like silicone tip darts, and then I have 1 dart that is marked OK Boomer. Thanks, Duncan. I don't know if you actually meant to say OK Boomer to me. But yeah, the last dart here is an interesting one. It is called the Adobe Dart, and I want to give Enoch a shout out for that because Enoch actually sent me a bunch of these Adobe darts. They're actually marked with the word Adobe. And Adobe is kind of like the word oops in the Malay language, in Bahasa Melayu. Like if you get hit or get tagged by a dart, sometimes your reaction is like Adobe, like a shock. So it's like an oops or something like that. I don't know how to explain it best because I don't speak Bahasa Melayu, so I mean no disrespect, but that's what I know about the word Adobe. So it's quite cute that the word Adobe is on a dart. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that, you know, mag compatibility as well as dart compatibility is completely fine. So here we go. I'm gonna fire off all the darts. I think there are 5 darts in there. Shit, did I lose count? Never mind, I'll just fire it 5 times. Okay, here we go. Yep, all out. Yeah, I was like thinking, where's the lever here? Now the first thing I want to point out is I hate the fact that you're not able to release the spring or deprime the blaster, because apparently natively it is a slam fire blaster. So I'm gonna have to just load a dart here, fire it off, and then I gotta yoink the mag out. So there we go. So now the blaster is in a deprimed state. So as you guys can see, the mag and dart compatibility is pretty okay. And of course the barrel fit is pretty good. I mean, maybe because I'm lucky, I don't know, but it also could be because of the climate here, like I was saying. So a couple of things that I wanted to point out about the blaster, and a lot of these positives are also negatives in their own right. So it's like a double-edged sword for everything, or almost everything that I'm gonna say. First of all, I like the stock compatibility. I like that you're able to remove this. Just when I say it, I'm actually getting some kind of a performance issue. There we go. So yeah, you're able to change out to any kind of a CTR stock. Is that the word, CTR stock? Shit, I don't know what it's called, but any kind of like milsim style stock. Is it called CTR? Shit, I forgot all my terminologies, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you have like a Magpul stock, it goes on. It works basically like any other buffer tube. Okay, so that's cool. Now that downside is the fact that this is not removable. I mean, if you're talking about storage, yeah, you could just basically pull out these 2 pins here and then split this blaster in half, and then you could store it. But I want this to be compact as well. You know, if it was a stub, then I could attach my own buffer tube. That's fine. But because of that, you're actually able to change the spring pretty easy. So taking advice from Naptown Nerf, I actually have the spring remover tab or that tool in the stock here, which causes a bit of a rattle. But yeah, you know, you could just put that tool in, twist it out, and then remove the spring. So it's cool that you're actually able to kind of access a spring like that. But in my opinion, it's like, why do I need to do that unless I'm really looking to upgrade the spring? But if I upgrade the spring, it means I have to upgrade the catch spring, and I have to probably upgrade the bolt sled as well, which is a fucking hassle because I watched Naptown Nerf's video and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that shit. So yeah, that's like a positive and negative. The next thing is a big negative, and I hate the fact that there are all these plastic tabs here and on this thing. And I mean, why? Like, you already have screw ports here, so why you... Look, this is a $150 blaster, right? And it's targeted at hobbyists, right? People who are going to tinker with their blaster, and you do this. This This is a cardinal sin. It should be a cardinal sin for all sorts of foam dart blasters. Okay, never mind. So I know that there are people who accidentally destroy their tabs when they're trying to remove it or open it up. So my word of advice is don't tackle it from the front. Like if you look at this part here, right? Don't tackle it from the gray area and push a screwdriver in to try and yank it out. So go from the back instead to kind of lift off that little bit of plastic there. Yeah, it's a little bit risky. Yes, I mean, but it's less risky than going in from the front. Now take this from personal experience. I actually did that. So it's the same for the top tabs as well. Don't go for the tab itself, go for the other half where you can lift it up, and it makes life so much easier. So yeah, I took it out, I opened it up, and why did I do that? That's because I really hated this safety switch thing. Look, I'm a lefty, and this was right hand friendly. So initially this would be up here. That means that you turn the safety on. Now to turn the safety off, you would reach over with your index finger and just push this down so that you could squeeze the trigger. Imagine my dismay when I have my index finger here and I push down on this and I wasn't able to pull the trigger. So I'd have to try to do some crazy thumb dexterity thing to reach over just to push this damn thing in so I could pull the trigger. Like I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this for the rest of my life. I'm not going to force myself to twist and do some crazy hand action every single time I wanted to fire. If I accidentally turn the safety on with my index finger, I'm gonna have to reach over with my thumb to press the thing down and then that's me choking on my own disappointment. But yes, so that's the reason why I open it up. Nothing else, no other reason why. I just wanted to flip this over. And in order for me to actually make that swap, it wasn't just a simple flip. So I don't even know why Dart Zone Pro just didn't want to do that as well. Why did you guys have to make it so difficult? I had to cut off excess plastic from that safety piece just so that I could flip it around. And so now it's lefty friendly, just for me. So I'm gonna just put the stop back on. Yep, and let's continue talking about this thing. Now, you'll see up here I have all these like indexing clips, right? These are from Larue, and it's just purely cosmetic, but I just want to say that I really absolutely love these Larue indexing clips. Now I know that you can find something like this on, I think it was Thingiverse. James pointed it out to me. Thank you, James. But nothing beats Larue stuff. This is injection molded and it comes in a plethora of colors. Let me show you. Remember this long shot, everyone? Yeah, I recently did some upkeeping to this. I actually upgraded the breech and now it's got an easy BB in there by Monochrome Industries. Shout out to Flechette, and also shout outs to Duncan for helping me with this. But yeah, that's not the point. I wanted to show you guys the indexing clips by Larue. Check it out. They've got some gray indexing clips as well. These are called the FDE. I think it was Flat Dark Earth. Was it? Wait. I'll get the name. Hold on. These are labeled UDE. It is a light gray, which is pretty awesome. It matches a lot of 3D print filament gray. So I thought that this and this matched really well. And then we've got the orange on the Dart Zone Pro. But right here, it is called the Blaze orange color. Then we have red, and the red goes perfectly well. It is the exact same shade as the red for any Crimson series blasters. Now there are some red furniture here as well, but this is not the original red. In the past, I bought the pink color, so I red dyed these red, and they are slightly more orangey red than standard red. But yeah, I mean, since I had them, I just put it here, and now it's kind of like a grip for my index finger when I'm holding the shotgun pump. Yeah, so once again, they've got this gray, they've got this red, they've got the Blaze orange, they've got this pink, they've got like black, blue, I think. They've got some shades of green, some shades of khaki, sand. I mean, this is not an advertisement. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm just telling you guys that I love these indexing clips. And the reason why I got so many now is because they recently had a sale. It was like $5 for a set of 72. How can I resist that? Like, that's just... Okay, back to the main topic. The next complaint that I have is one that is shared by many other owners of the Dart Zone Pro or any kind of blaster that uses these quick release or pull tabs, and that is the fact that those jump rings are just obnoxious. This is actually obnoxiously long. Look at how much it sticks out from the other end when you push it all the way in. So in order for me to reduce that jingle jangle, flickety flackety clickety clackety thing, I actually tied a paracord weave here. This is a standard Solomon or Cobra weave, and I tied these two together so that I could just kind of pull both out at one go, and it also kind of reduces the risk of me losing one by accident, you know. So it was a pretty simple and straightforward thing that I did. I love it. And it also doesn't get in the way of the thumb screw here. I mean, you guys saw me operating the blaster with no problem. So that's what I did in terms of trying to reduce and remove that sound altogether, that sound. So again, I lucked out. I happened to have a paracord color that perfectly matched the entire blaster color scheme. So it's got some orange, some red, some gray, and a little bit of black. So that's lucky on my part. I want to point out that I really love this bright blue here, this anodized blue on the shotgun pump bars. I love it because it gives a very beautiful accent to the blaster. I love that contrast. And I love this grip. I understand now why everyone loves this grip. This is awesome. This is the best feeling grip I felt on a Nerf blaster, a stock Nerf blaster by the way. But this thing just is so comfortable. It's got a little bit of squish as well. I wish that every other company would consider thinking of doing something like this, but this is really awesome. And it is a stark contrast to the pump grip here, because this is just hard plastic. Yes, granted, you could easily change this out for a different sort of grip if you like maybe if you want to roll with an AFG, or if you prefer something that is completely vertical, or you want something that could collapse or whatever. It is entirely your choice. Now the next thing is a pro and a pain point, and this unfortunately has to be done because of the way this system is. It allows for both full length and half length darts, but it also provides you with a very, very good seal. Now those of you who've actually seen the internals of this would know that the breech system is very much like, say for example, an artifact pusher system or a worker pusher system. It's got the whole O-ring thing, right? And the limitation in the past, or actually the standard limitation of that kind of system, would be that it would only allow for half-length darts. So the solution that Dart Zone Pro went for is also the reason why this is a slam fire system. You notice that the first, I think about 2 inches of the prime is completely free. Like the whole thing is just loose. Like if I shook it like that, it would just drop down and open up, or semi-open the breech. And that's because the entire system here, the entire plunger system, is actually moving back and forth to accommodate for full-length darts. You only start to feel the spring once you get past the first couple of inches. So like that, and then you'll feel the spring. So it stops right here, and then you can just close it up like that. So that is free moving. I wanted to say free spinning, but you guys know what I mean, right? So this is completely free. So that's something that I really hate. First of all, I hate this free moving part, and the second thing that I hate the most is the fact that it is a slam fire system, because the catch moves along with the plunger tube, so that doesn't interface with the trigger until it is in the completely forward position. And I really dislike the fact that I'm not able to deprime the blaster anytime I want to. But I guess, you know, it's easy to kind of jam a mag in or remove a mag and then just fire off a dart, right? So yeah, that is my pros and cons about the Dart Zone Pro Mark 1.1, and that is also my story time that I wanted to share with you guys. There's actually no other point to why I'm making this video. I'm actually surprised if you guys had actually sat through this whole thing just to hear me talk about it and rant about it, or kind of praise it at the same time. Now don't get me wrong, I really love this thing, and I really have to say thank you to Alysia for helping to put this in my hand. I know it was a lot of trouble, a lot of hassle, and I wish I didn't have to go through all of that just to get this. Now for $149, I think that this is really pretty damn expensive. But you know, you're getting an expanded plunger tube red performing blaster. You've got the best darts in the market. Apparently these are known as the best darts out there in the market. I think there are a lot of enthusiasts just waiting for Dart Zone Pro to make these darts available separately, and I'm actually quite interested in them because I have to say that yeah, they do perform really well. Very little contact point with the barrel, and less contact point means less friction, but yet still offering the same kind of seal. So that is pretty much an innovation right there. I love this thing. I am waiting for a chance to be able to take this out to a game just to try it out for real. Aesthetically wise, I think it looks really good. So good job to Dart Zone Pro for that. I just wish it was a little bit cheaper, and I wish it was a lot easier to get it in my hands, you know. That is it, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking all the way throughout and listening to me once again. And I'm probably going to record a video about my purple Terminator right after this, so don't question why I'm wearing the same t-shirt in the next video, okay? Okay, so that is it. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Drills pay the bills, and if you guys are wondering why I did not talk about the sight attachments that came with the Dart Zone Pro Mark 1.1, I'll just say that they're disappointing.